Mr. Khmer's like, put your shoes on, then we're ready to go.
All right, so this is our 4th different place we've stayed in the last 7 days. And what's strange is why do I have so much stuff? Like, we've been living for 7 days and I haven't used 95% of my stuff. So probably moving forward, I need to consolidate my stuff. So anyway, we're gonna go for a big ride today. We're gonna go about 107 miles. Cycle Central Coast, they're tied in with the tourism board, and they have been huge finding dog-friendly hotels. But again, there isn't availability like for a week or two. So we're kind of been jumping from one place to another place. You know, every day or 2 days we go to a new hotel in new town. And that's kind of taken its toll on us a little bit, but we've sort of gotten into the groove, I think.
Sorry, Papa. I'm sorry, Papa.
You know, we've got 3 dogs. And I don't really talk about the dogs that much, but that is really been difficult to try to make sure that they're happy and they're good and that we can stay somewhere that is dog friendly. The other thing is my Whoop. So I use Whoop to track my fitness and all that. So usually my recovery scores, like I never have green often. If I go and do a big hard ride, the next day I'm always in the gutter. But for whatever reason, since we've been here, my recovery scores are through the roof. Like no matter what big ass ride I do, it's always like green or like ready to perform. So I'm not sure if that's the elevation, because I live at 3,400 feet. And that you wouldn't think that would be that big of a difference, but I don't know why I feel so good down here. I've been feeling so amazing. I don't know. It's hard to explain, and the Whoop is showing that something is different. This climb, Santa Rosa Creek, the steep part is so steep. And I know I'm walking my bike here for a second. It makes me look like a total Fred, but I can't talk to the camera. Like it's so steep, you have to be fully out of the saddle. My best time up this is 11 minutes. I think Phil just did it in 9 or something stupid, something so crazy. What'd you think of that climb?
It was weird. We were talking about it, like the parts that weren't as steep felt flat because the portions that were steep were just like straight up.
Alrighty, so now we've done Santa Rosa Creek, great climb around this area. We came down Old Creek. Now we're gonna go up to Santa Rita, which is gravel. This road can be done on any bike. I would say if you can only do one of the roads, Santa Rosa, Old Creek, or Santa Rita is the way to go. It's quiet, it's beautiful. You go down over the other side and then you can get into Santa Margarita. Lots of Santas around here. The other thing is sometimes, dude, do you ever just get so happy during a ride? Like right now, I'm just bubbling with happiness. It's like, which is good. Okay, that's Santa Rita Road. Oh man, it is so good. Highly recommend you do this if you're in the area. The view is insane. And again, the dirt is not like, you don't need a gravel bike. You can do a road bike, no problem. And then you're gonna descend off this backside and go to Santa Margarita for some margaritas. Is there a reason you don't run tubeless? You just haven't set it up?
I just haven't gotten around to setting it up.
So that's what I think that's common. Like a lot of people say, I haven't gotten around to setting it up. And honestly, it can be a nightmare if you don't get it right. Your first experience with tubeless could be terrible. But once you get it dialed, once you have the right tires, I mean, I don't think I've flatted, other than I just flatted 2 days ago. But it was on, those were on like super race tires, and I was coming down this road. But if like you have, like I have IRC X guards, I mean, I haven't flatted in like 3 years. It's kind of nuts.
Right here.
The plug system.
Got 5 shots at it. So that goes in. This little guy comes out, cut the excess off, inflator, and
This is just one of them rides, man, where it's like, because it's not overly difficult and you're just enjoying the scenery. I mean, it's so nice out here. Yes, dude. About your story. You, how old are you?
22.
And you're already strong as shit. So how did you get into cycling? Did you have some sort of fitness background?
Yeah, I grew up playing tennis. Did that pretty much from like the age of 6 to like I was 18, 19. Wanted to kind of train for something, so I kind of trained for the Bass Lake Triathlon. Well, I say train. I kind of decided to do it like a month before it started. The swimming and the running was fun, but like I absolutely loved like the cycling portion. But I mean, I never really took it seriously. I didn't have a bike. I was riding my dad's bike, which was like a 60 frame. Like after doing the half Ironman, I was like, nah, I just want to do cycling. So kind of took a couple months off, was just finishing up my semester. And then April, I like started riding quite a bit on my own, and then got a coach in May, and here we are.
So this route is pretty sweet, but there is like no towns. There's no stops. And it looks like there's some wineries. And so maybe that's where you're supposed to stop and refuel, but I'm not really trying to drink a bottle of wine on the ride. We're kind of lost. We're out of water. If you were into it, you could stop here and have a full-on lunch. But on a 107-mile ride, I don't know if full-on wine and lunch is the right call, but I feel like you would never get up from your chair. This would be the destination. We definitely took some sort of tour of wineries, which I'm sure is cool, but we don't want wine and we don't want cheese. You know what I mean? So we need sugar. This route is very scenic. It doesn't have a whole lot of stops. Roughly 0 of them. I've never seen this in a gas station, but they're plant-based meal bars. Wild blueberry, banana walnut, mango coconut, almond cranberry. You know, they say you shouldn't go shopping if you're hungry, because then you buy shit you don't need. Like I bought all of them. The banana nut, banana walnut. It's everything I hoped it would be. They were just advising me not to put this on film. But so my chain just all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, got super dry. So I'm using, all I have is this 2-stroke oil. 2-stroke oil. Come and get your love. Come and get your. Oh, hey.
So he's an idiot.
Oh, no.
Okay, well. That was a brutal climb. Very technical, very steep, very gravelly, but it's beautiful up here. And the breakaway wins.
Dude, I put down 341 normalized for the last 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, that legs felt great at the end.
Wow. Dude, Mark is the strongest human ever. At the end of that ride, him putting out so much power. The thing is, and I already said this, that course, it's like it was for a Fondo, and that all the wineries would have like rest stops. On a 100+ mile ride, dude, you'd like to maybe stop twice. There's some really cool points to that route, but it needs to be amended for someone who's not going to stop at wineries. I think I've already said that a bunch. So let's go to dinner. How are you dealing with not being in a specific place more than 2 days?
For me, the biggest hurdle is that I never get time just alone for a couple minutes. So when you're in your house, you can go in your room, maybe the kids are watching TV and you can go outside, I can water the plants, go check the mail, like whatever. It's time alone. And when you're in a hotel, especially with your family, there's no separation. And so that's definitely difficult. You know, there are some things I feel guilty about when I think about back home, but right now it's more about them and keeping them happy and keeping them entertained.
It's a cool vacation, but I miss home. If I had the option to go home, I'd be like,
What do you think, baby? How are you doing?
good.
What's so difficult is not having a base camp, not having a routine. Every day it's something new, new hurdles, you know, even just new excitement, but we haven't stayed in a place longer than 2 days. So it's like you get one night, and in one hotel, we actually had to move hotels twice during that stay. So it's like just moving all this stuff, so you almost don't even want to unpack.
People are like, oh, it's just stuff. But to me, like my stuff, that makes me sad because my stuff is an accumulation of things that I love, like books that I love, things that I found at the antique store that I love that are one of a kind. So to me, there's so much in a house, and then that's what's sad about people who lost their houses is that your house is full of stuff that reflects you, that special one of a kind things, and those aren't really things that you can replace. So that's definitely stressful because you can't pack all of that. We just pack the things that are super important, memories, pictures, our Christmas ornaments, things like that.
Did you ride all day? Yeah?
My new bag.
So, as of right now, even if they lifted the mandatory evacuation, the smoke there is like, it was 500. The air quality was 500. You can't live in air quality of 500. So even if they lifted the mandatory evacuation, we still can't go back. So as of right now, we're gonna play it by ear until Wednesday and see how that goes. So, anyway, as always, Vegan Cyclist. Yeah. Was you ready to go to Avila? Hard to see, but Hearst Castle had a bunch of zebras. You see those zebras out there? Being zebras. Hipster my son is, dude. He's the most hipster kid on the planet. Let's see, he's getting to play with his kid. And that's huge, dude. That's huge for his mental health. So what's strange is that when we first embarked on this, I think we're like day 8 now,